This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. As we continue on with this new week, we're seeing fewer active COVID-19 cases in the USVI. There are currently 170 active COVID cases territory-wide, with 119 on St. Croix, 49 on St. Thomas, and 2 active cases right now on St. John. People ages 12 and older in the U.S. are now eligible to get their first updated COVID-19 vaccine booster, but some people are questioning whether to rush out and get the booster or wait. So here are all the answers from a medical expert.
They are updated boosters designed to target both the original strain of coronavirus and Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5. Dr. Lena Wen says reformulated vaccines like these could one day become routine.
It's something that's done for the flu vaccine every year, that to predict the new emerging variants, new emerging strains, that there is an updated booster.
The CDC recommends everyone 12 and older to get the updated boosters as long as they've already had your primary series of shots, but they should wait at least 2 months since their last vaccine dose. People 18 and over can get either the updated Pfizer or Moderna shot, while those 12 and up are eligible for an updated Pfizer shot. Dr. Wen says certain groups should go get the booster right away.
It is individuals who are 50 and older with chronic medical illnesses, individuals who have not yet gotten any vaccine this year. They should absolutely go ahead and get that reformulated booster as soon as possible.
Wen says if you've just recovered from COVID, you can probably wait about 3 months before getting the updated booster because the risk of reinfection in that time period is very low. As for children under 12 who are not eligible for the latest shot,
I'm sure that this reformulated booster is also going to be made available for younger children, but at this point I would not worry about kids under the age of 12.
On the other hand, Wen urges parents with kids under 12 who haven't been vaccinated to get those shots, even if your children have recently been infected with coronavirus.
In the meantime, since flu season is expected to be harsh, health leaders in the Virgin Islands are recommending people are up to date on both the flu and COVID-19 vaccinations, saying it's especially important as we head into the fall and winter months. The Commissioner of Health explains how Virgin Islanders can go about getting vaccinated and the importance of doing so.
The Department of Health family joins me in extending our condolences to the family and friends of our latest COVID-19 fatality. The victim was a 68-year-old female on the island of St. Thomas. The loss of life is yet another stark reminder of the severity of the disease. We ask that you stay current with the COVID vaccination as it gives all of us the best protection. If those who can be vaccinated do so, it would provide a barrier for those around us who cannot be vaccinated. As the 2022 influenza season falls upon us, yes, I know, another vaccine, we also ask that you make appointments to receive the flu vaccine, particularly those who are immunocompromised, which includes our senior population. With the bivalent COVID-19 vaccine now available, you can receive the bivalent and the seasonal flu shot at the same time. Yes, it is safe to get both together, and this is actually recommended by the CDC. These vaccines are available now and are provided as a regular part of the Department of Health's clinic schedule. The new bivalent vaccines are available to the following age groups: Pfizer, age 12 and older, and Moderna, age 18 and older. COVID-19 vaccines for children continue to be provided through the maternal child health and MCH clinics on all 3 islands.
And in other health news today, it's a significant milestone for people with hearing loss. Hearing aids will be available over the counter very soon. Starting in October, people over the age of 18 with mild to moderate hearing impairment can buy certain hearing aids from stores or online for less money. It comes after the FDA just finalized a rule to make this happen. We want to get you the latest now on the death of Queen Elizabeth II as the country says farewell to their queen. Queen Elizabeth's coffin heads to London while King Charles III makes his first visit to Northern Ireland as the new monarch. Ian Lee reports from Windsor, England.
After lying in rest at a Scottish cathedral for 24 hours, the coffin of the late Queen Elizabeth is making its way to England. Outside Westminster Hall in London, where her body will lie in state ahead of her funeral Monday, mourners have begun camping out.
It's really worth it to be part of it.
Members of the United Kingdom's armed forces took part in a pre-dawn drill to practice for Wednesday afternoon's procession.
It's a very sad day, but it is our opportunity, our last opportunity, to do a duty for the Queen.
While the outpouring of grief continues across England, including here at Windsor Castle, King Charles is in Northern Ireland for his first visit as monarch. The King greeted well-wishers outside Hillsborough Castle, the royal family's official residence just outside Belfast. A 21-gun salute marked his arrival. The British monarchy has a complicated history in Northern Ireland, where decades of violence has marked divisions between Protestant Unionists and Catholic nationalists. The King acknowledged that split, saying his mother never stopped praying for the people of Northern Ireland.
My mother felt deeply, I know, the significance of the role she herself played in bringing together those whom history had separated, and in extending a hand to make possible the healing of long-held hurts.
In a sign of reconciliation and respect for the Queen, representatives of Sinn Féin, the main Irish Republican Party, attended today's events. Ian Lee, CBS News, Windsor, England.
And in the wake of the Queen's death, questions are swirling about what happens to one of the legacies of the British Empire, and that is what is known today as the Commonwealth. In the Caribbean, of course, there are several places where Queen Elizabeth served as head of state, 6 British overseas territories, and 8 independent island nations. So Kerry Sanders explains what happens now.
When the King met with members of the monarch's Commonwealth nations,
Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, Her Majesty.
It highlighted how the British Empire that once ruled 400 million people, a quarter of the world's population, has shrunk. Today there are 56 independent nations, mostly former British colonies, that are loosely members of the Commonwealth. Of those, 14 outside the UK are the Commonwealth realms, which means they now recognize the new king as their head of state. Last year, Barbados decided to become a republic, meaning the British monarch is no longer its head of state, though the island country is still a member of the Commonwealth. In Jamaica, a vocal push for a similar withdrawal. As Prince William and Princess Kate discovered when they visited Jamaica in March, the enslaved descendants demand a formal apology.
Why do you blame the Queen and the monarchy for slavery?
Because her Duke of York, a direct line of descendant to Queen Elizabeth II, was one of the founding directors of one of the first African slave trading company to bring enslaved people, to bring people here.
Slaves harvested sugar that back then was like gold.
That was the basis of the wealth and the value of slavery to the British.
Meantime, many Commonwealth Caribbean nations recently held ceremonies for the late Queen Elizabeth II. Like in Bermuda, at the capital city in Hamilton, officials prepared a ceremony to which dozens of people attended. Mourners and children waited outside the government house to honor the Queen. The Caribbean country of Bermuda is a British territory and member of the Commonwealth of Nations. But reaction is mixed in Bermuda as members of the reparations movements voiced concerns about a standing monarchy. One professor, writer, and scholar on gender and development studies says she is not mourning the monarch's death.
As a colonized people under the British system, I don't feel any kind of remorse or sadness, because I think the British government and the Queen has treated us rather badly in that they have gained and profited tremendously from us in the Caribbean, us African people, and from the continent, and they've never apologized, nor have they offered any compensation for that. And I don't think Charles is going to be very different. My feelings about him is mixed. I don't necessarily think that he has that capacity and that forward thinking that would make and honor the British Empire by doing right.
Antigua and Barbuda, which is a small Caribbean country in a Commonwealth realm, is now planning to hold a referendum within the next 3 years, which, like Barbados, could mean the monarchy is no longer their head of state, and it could be others will follow suit, as while her death brings fond memories for many people, it also brings a renewed focus on the role of the monarchy in their independent nations.